Modest Deepavali celebrations nationwide. Investigation papers on 12 detainees linked to LTTE sent to AG's chambers. Hello there, good evening. I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News on 2. The police have handed over the investigation papers on the 12 people detained for the alleged links with the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, LTTE, to the Attorney General's chambers. Bukit Aman Special Branch Counter-Terrorism Division, E8, Principal Assistant Director Dato Ayub Khan Maidin Piche said the police have completed their investigation and are now awaiting further instructions from the AG. According to Dato Ayub Khan, it is now up to the AG to decide whether there is enough evidence or not. Asked about Deepavali visitation for the 12 detainees, Dato Ayub Khan said their families had been granted permission to visit them today. As informed by the Inspector General of Police, Tan Sri Abdul Hamid Badur, he said the visits have been arranged in conjunction with Deepavali, adding that the family members are also allowed to bring food for the detainees. He said the detainees were getting on well and their health condition was being monitored. The 12 suspects, who include 2 state assemblymen from Negeri Sembilan and Melaka, were arrested under the Security Offences Special Measures Act 2012 SOSMA, which allows for a 28-day detention. The body of film director and scriptwriter Firdaus Hanif was found today after he was reported missing following an accident at Sungai Jelai, Kuala Lipis yesterday. Lipis Police Chief Superintendent Azli Muhammad Noor said the body was found floating about 500 meters from the location of the accident at about 4:25 p.m. Superintendent Azli said the victim's body has been sent to the Lipis Hospital for a post-mortem. The search and rescue operation involved 15 boats and 74 personnel from the Fire and Rescue Department, the Civil Defence Force, the police, as well as local residents. Yesterday, Firdaus and his friend Sham Mokhtar were riding a fibre boat on Sungai Jelai when it hit a bridge pole near the Gamunchur Bridge in Mela and capsized at about 1 p.m. The boat broke in two and Firdaus was carried away by strong currents, while Sham managed to save himself. Firdaus, also known as Pit Hanif, was the son of actress Fauzia Nawi. The Kelantan Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA on Saturday detained 11 foreign fishermen from Vietnam and seized their fishing boats for fishing illegally in the country's waters. State MMEA Director, Maritime Commander Muhammad Nur Syam Asmawi Yaakob said the suspects aged between 22 to 45 were detained while fishing illegally about 123 nautical miles from Tok Bali Beach, Pasir Puteh. According to Maritime Commander Muhammad Nur Syam Asmawi, in the raid dubbed Ops Naga Barat, about 300 kilograms of steel fish, fishing equipment and various assets worth about 600,000 ringgit were seized.
Bot nelayan Vietnam ni mempunyai kepakaran untuk mengelak daripada ditahan. Jadi kepakaran mereka yang mereka latih sebelum ni di negara mereka tak dapat jugalah menandingi kepakaran daripada Maritim Malaysia yang menyebabkan mereka tertangkap. Biasanya mereka menggunakan pergerakan dan maneuver-maneuver yang sangat bahayalah.
Met by reporters at the Tok Bali Maritime Jetty in Pasir Puteh today, he added that the case is investigated under the Fisheries Act 1985. He said that to date, Kelantan MMEA had made 20 arrests since January until yesterday, inclusive of 13 foreign fishermen, 5 domestic fishing boats, and 2 cases which involved smuggling. Parti Amanah Negara, Amanah, will ensure its machinery is prepared to gain victory for Pakatan Harapan PH in the Tanjung Piai parliamentary by-election. Its Deputy President, Dato Seri Salahuddin Ayub, said Amanah has started mobilizing its machinery and will give its highest commitment to help PH win the by-election. Dato' Sri Salahuddin said he had mobilized party machinery from early on and are committed that party members will work to ensure victory for the PH candidate.
Saya sendiri telah mengadakan perbincangan termasuk dengan Yang Berhormat Tun, Yang Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin sebagai pengurusi Harapan Negeri Johor untuk membincangkan apa lagi yang amanah perlu bantu, ya? Apa lagi yang amanah perlu sumbangkan. Semuanya ke arah untuk memperkukuh jentera.
He said this after launching a Fishery Day 2019 celebration at the Pontian Business Centre today. Dato' Sri Salahuddin said discussions on candidates were also held and all stakeholders involved had agreed on who will be declared. The Tanjung PI parliamentary by-election will be held on 16th November following the death of its incumbent Dato' Dr. Mat Farid Mat Rafiq, 42, who was also Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department on the 21st of September due to heart complications. The flood situation in the Jelebu area continued to show improvement, with the number of victims at the temporary relocation centre dropping to 38 victims from 16 families this morning compared to 69 people from 23 families yesterday. According to the Public Welfare Department's Disaster Info Portal, of the total, 24 were adults, while the rest were children. As of now, 2 relief centres are still open, Balai Raya Kampung Juntai and Masjid Kampung Jerang. Yesterday, 3 of the 5 centres which were opened on Friday and Saturday were closed after the situation improved and residents were allowed to return to their homes. Among the affected villages are Kampung Telekong, Kampung Cena, Kampung Juntai, Kampung Simpang Durian and Kampung Jerang. Malaysians of the Hindu faith today celebrated Deepavali, also known as the Festival of Lights, that signifies the triumph of good and evil on a moderate scale but in a joyful mood. They took advantage of the fine weather in the morning to perform the religious rituals at temples before visiting relatives and friends and holding open houses for guests. Open houses are a definite event to hold during festive seasons in Malaysia. After performing religious rituals at temples, many will then either entertain guests or attend open houses held across the nation. In Pulau Pinang, people from all walks of life, many dressed in colourful traditional attire, thronged Deepavali open house hosted by Deputy Chief Minister 2, Dr. P. Ramasamy. The guests were warmly greeted by Dr. Ramasamy and his wife, K. Kalai Arasi, when they arrived at their residential home at Villa Mutiara, Simpang Ampat today. Dr. Ramasamy said he was happy to see people of different beliefs gathered to celebrate the spirit of togetherness. In Sabah, about 1,000 people of different races and religions in the city attended the celebration organized by Sri Pasupatinath Aliam Temple in Bukit Padang, Kota Kinabalu, before being served with light refreshments. Among those present were Sabah Branch Business and International Industry Chambers Honorary Advisor Brigadier General Retired Dato' A. Arul Pragasam and Deputy President Dato' Dr. K. Madhavan, who is also Sabah Branch Hindu Sangam President. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad arrived in Turkmenistan to begin his 2-day official visit to the country starting today. The special aircraft carrying Tun Dr. Mahathir from Azerbaijan touched down at the Ashgabat International Airport at about 9:35 p.m. local time or 12:35 a.m. Malaysian time. The Prime Minister and his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasma Muhammad Ali, were greeted upon arrival by Turkmenistan Foreign Minister Rashid Meredo, Malaysian Ambassador to Turkmenistan Roseli Abdul, and senior officials from both countries. The Malaysian delegation for the visit includes Foreign Minister Dato' Saifuddin Abdullah and Minister of Economic Affairs and Dato' Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali. Tun Dr. Mahathir's programs in Turkmenistan will kick off tomorrow, where he will attend an official welcoming ceremony at the Presidential Square. Later, the Prime Minister and President of Turkmenistan, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, will hold a restricted meeting following a delegation meeting and a joint press conference at the Presidential Palace. In the evening, Tun Dr. Mahathir is scheduled to meet with the Malaysian diaspora in Turkmenistan and speak to the Malaysian media before concluding his visit. The Agriculture and Agro-Based Industries Ministry is reviewing proposals from several companies that were keen to obtain a contract to import rice in January 2021. Speaking to reporters after launching a 2019 Farmers Gathering in Tanjung Piai, Pontian, Minister Datuk Seri Salahuddin Ayub said each company must fulfill several criteria, including possessing strong financial position. Datuk Seri Salahuddin said the ministry had invited the companies by issuing a request for proposal RFP to them to enable the selected company to obtain the contract later to fulfill several criteria, including sound finance of at least 300 million ringgit for importing, milling, distribution and marketing rice in Malaysia.
Yang diberikan lesen oleh pihak kerajaan untuk peperanan seperti Bernas sebagai contoh akan mengambil alih stockpile negara dan sejumlah wang yang lebih kurang 300 juta yang kita parking setiap tahun di situ akan dapat kita gunakan untuk aktiviti yang lain.
The Pulai Member of Parliament said the government's move to fix a criteria including a fund of 300 million ringgit was seen as a long-term thinking whereby the money which was all this while allocated to Bernas could be diverted to several MOA program to help the B40 fishermen and farmers groups. Last month, Datuk Seri Salahuddin was reported to have said that the ministry offered any quarter keen to replace Bernas, which would end its rice import contract in January 2021, to submit a RFP to be evaluated by the government. The Kedah State Government will give a special focus on the redevelopment of the Kedah Halal Park in Sungai Petani Industrial Area to attract more local companies to carry out business there. This is in line with the current business trend where Malaysian halal products are receiving high demand from foreign countries, especially in Asia and Europe. Kedah Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Mukhris Tun Dr. Mahathir said the state government efforts to redevelop the park will attract more entrepreneurs with viable businesses to participate in the production of halal products.
Kena perincikan apakah yang perlu dilakukan supaya taman industri halal itu mempunyai semua kemudahan yang membantu dalam memenuhi piawaian dan apa jenis pengeluaran yang sepatutnya kita tarik ke taman industri seperti itu dan adakah perlu juga kita buat promosi untuk membantu mereka.
Datuk Seri Mukhris said this to reporters after opening the 2019 Kedah Halal Fest in Sungai Petani. The Kedah Halal Park is a 35-acre park owned by the Kedah State Development Corporation, PKNK.
Sebagai rakyat Malaysia, kita merasa syukur kerana dapat meraihkan perayaan dalam suasana aman dan harmoni. Ini hanya dapat dicapai kerana rakyat negara ini mengamalkan sikap toleransi dan menerima perbezaan antara kaum dan agama. Masyarakat kita telah belajar untuk hidup bersama dan bekerjasama ke arah kejayaan Malaysia. Sikap ini mesti dipupuk di kalangan generasi muda dan diteruskan ke atas generasi yang akan datang. Saya dan isteri mengucapkan selamat Hari Deepavali kepada semua rakyat Malaysia yang beragama Hindu.
Salam sejahtera, saya Gobind Singh Deo, Ahli Parlimen Puchong, Menteri Komunikasi dan Multimedia Malaysia. Saya ingin mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan kepada semua yang meraihkannya di Malaysia, selamat Hari Deepawali. Deepawali non-particle.
England are into their first Rugby World Cup final in 12 years after a brilliant 1907 demolition of three-time world champions New Zealand in the semi-finals, ending the All Blacks' hopes of an unprecedented third straight title. England had stormed into a 10-0 lead. Manu Tulaige's second-minute try and a long-range penalty from George Ford, fitting reward for a blistering first half. The 2003 winners could have been out of sight had tries for Sam Underhill and Ben Youngs not been ruled out by the video referee. But when Ardi Savea pounced on a wayward line-out throw to reduce the deficit to 13-7, the three-time world champions were on the charge. Yet the superb Ford landed a trio of nerveless penalties, and with the young dynamos Underhill and Tom Curry outstanding in the back row, England held on in style to pull off one of their greatest victories. The All Blacks had not lost a World Cup game in 12 years and had won 15 of the past 16 games between the two nations. But 4 years after crashing out at the group stage, England tore the crown from their head with a performance of unremitting energy and excellence on a night for the ages in Yokohama. The Malaysia Cup competition has never seen anything like this. It left everyone in disbelief after the final kick-off of a crazy game. That was how it unfolded in the titanic heart-stopping Malaysia Cup semi-final second leg match between Kedah and Pahang at Darul Makmur Stadium in Kuantan last night. Kedah drew first blood by scoring the opening goal through Spaniard Fernando Rodriguez in the 8th minute. But Pahang levelled through Dixon Nwakame in the 33rd minute. The Red Eagles seized the lead again through Jonathan Bauman in the 54th minute. Namibian Lazarus Kayembe then put Pahang on par in the 71st minute and struck again 5 minutes later to put the hosts ahead. However, Badrol Bakhtiar forced the match into extra time by finding the back of the Pahang net in the 85th minute. Kedah started the extra time in the same manner they started the first half by scoring in the 92nd minute through Brazilian Renan Alves. But Pahang put themselves on level again in the 114th minute through a penalty by defender Errol Pulong. However, 3 minutes from time, Kedah knew they were heading for the final after Fernando Rodriguez gave the Northerners a 5-4 lead. A final minute goal by Nwakame put Pahang back on par at 5-5, but it was not enough to stop Kedah from winning on away goals. Meanwhile, at the Shah Alam Stadium, national player Safawi Rashid was JDT's toast with a hat-trick as the Southern Tigers reached the final of the Malaysia Cup on a 5-1 aggregate victory over Selangor following a 3-0 success in the semi-final return leg. Safawi benefited from a Michael Nguyen mistake in the 25th minute to score his first. A minute after the breather, he latched onto Afiq Fazail's pass and curled the ball over Selangor goalkeeper Khairul Azhan Khalid to hand JDT a 2-0 lead. Safawi scored his third by slotting the ball between the legs of keeper Khairul Azhan and into the empty net in the 52nd minute. Selangor had their moments but were denied by JDT's stout defending. The wet and soggy pitch following heavy rain hours before the match did not make it easy for both teams. However, JDT managed to settle in while Selangor struggled to adapt. JDT will play Kedah in the final on the 2nd of November. That concludes this evening's edition of News On 2. In our top story, modest Deepavali celebrations nationwide. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. To our Hindu viewers, we on News On 2 would like to wish you a happy Diwali. May the lights of Diwali diyas fill your home with wealth, happiness and everything that brings you joy. Till then, I'm Cynthia Arthur. Thank you for watching.